Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second day of the Digital4Good Summit, sponsored by Twitter. I'm Isaac Butts, your day two MC. ICANHELP invited me to host today's session because of my work with students across the country, helping them overcome bullying and finding their self-value, uniqueness, and inner leader. I like to say their inner beast mode. Let's go. Check this out, man. Growing up, I was the butt, hence butts, the butt of every joke, and it hit my self-confidence hard. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a long time to find my way back from some pretty dark places, but now I use my experiences and lessons learned to inspire and empower students to embrace their true selves and reach their highest potential. I'm excited and honored to help share the incredible work of this year's Digital4Good winners. These students aren't waiting for change. Nah, man. They're going in and they're ready for action right now. They're making it happen. And there's nothing more inspiring than listening to their stories and vision for the future. Today, three of our winners, Alif Kaya, Varden Argwal, and Alex Noel will be presenting to our panel of sharks after each presentation. Our shark panel will ask the students questions about their work and their future goals for their innovations. Then any of our sharks can bid to work with them one-on-one mentoring session later this afternoon. As we kick off our event, don't forget, make sure you're posting and sharing on your social media all day today using the hashtag Digital4Good and tagging the official hashtag ICANHELP accounts to get a shout out, to be reposted, and even have the chance to win some dope prizes. All right. We'll also be sharing links to fun activities, backgrounds, and filters throughout the day, so keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it and feel free to chime in and cheer on our student innovators as they present to the Shark Tank today. But before we hear from our innovators, I'm honored to welcome today's opening keynote speaker, Jessica Herrera Flanagan, the Vice President of Policy and Philanthropy at Twitter. Welcome, Jessica, and take it away. All right, it looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Jessica is having a little bit of a problem getting on. That's all good. We got time. We're here today for this phenomenal event. So we got some time. Jessica, get it figured out. We got some time. No worries. So check this out. I want you guys to remember to join us on Friday during the Power Hour to see all 9 of the student winners share their pitch at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that Power Hour. Make sure you're there if you're trying to next level. If you want to get in touch with these innovators, see what they're doing, see how they're next leveling, see how you yourself can next level your community and the people around you, you're not going to want to miss this Power Hour. It's going to be phenomenal. Also, we got phenomenal sharks, next levelers, people that have figured it out and understand how to next level the game here today. So make sure you're following them. Make sure you're seeing what their company is. Check out their handles on their social medias and figure out a way to connect with them and see what they're doing. They've done it right. They figured it out. So make sure that you see that today. All right, Jessica, how are we doing? Are we there yet? We got something figured out?
Hey, Jessica, why don't you try calling in, leave the meeting and call in, and for now we'll move right to Elif. Isaac wants to jump back in.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, look, check this out. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and jump to Elif. So let's check out Elif and what it is that she's doing. This is such a pleasure. Elif is phenomenal. Just even hanging out and getting to know her a little bit before, what she's doing, where she's at. She's all the way in Turkey. Check this out. Let's learn a little bit about Elif here. So Elif is the founder of the organization One Smile Effect. You can't help but do one of those when you read that. One Smile Effect, Turkey's only student-led mental health organization. Look, started in April 2020. One Smile Effect is an online platform dedicated to giving youth access to workshops and modules, as well as giving them a stigma-free environment to discuss mental health. One Smile Effect has gathered 80 volunteers and ambassadors and has reached 2,300 teens across 80 different countries. I mean, come on, what am I doing with my life? I need to get it together. Elif, welcome. We're excited to hear more about your organization.
Hey everyone, this is the story of One Smile Effect, Turkey's first and only youth-led mental health organization. Mental illness affects 17% of young people worldwide, which is roughly 200,000 people, and the numbers are growing every single year. As alarming as it is, mental health is often overlooked. Especially in developing countries such as mine, there are not enough resources dedicated to this issue. What's worse is that COVID-19 intensified mental health challenges, especially in youth, and made them susceptible to poor mental health conditions. So there was a growing need to address this issue on a global level, but what could have been done? This question inspired me, and I wanted to find a way to answer that and help the millions of youth struggling with mental health challenges. My mission was simple: to support the psychological well-being of young people during the COVID-19 pandemic. And my solution was One Smile Effect. After forming a global team, we started to take action. We first created social handles, a website, and began to share curated messaging that was needed. All of the messaging, vetted by mental health professionals, focused on educating youth, raising awareness, and promoting mental health advocacy. We spread mental health awareness and education worldwide through our free, accessible, and easy-to-use resources, which includes modules, podcast episodes, live events, and social media campaigns. We also create a social togetherness amongst youth through our digital community. There, teens can engage with each other, share their problems, and seek comfort and support from their peers. We've had many successes with our outreach and programs. Our most recent project is a virtual mental health education and awareness program for high schoolers called Break the Barriers. Break the Barriers requires establishing a One Smile Effect club, going through 10 mental health modules with several language options, creating a safe peer learning and support environment, as well as additional activities offered by individual clubs. Through Break the Barriers alone, we have already established 6 clubs and connected to over 225 students from 4 countries. Overall, through our projects and events, 2,500 youth from 60 countries and 135 cities were impacted. Today's young people are the leaders of tomorrow. We need to support their well-being better and equip them with vital skills necessary to combat personal and social challenges. What we need is simple: awareness, education, and connection. I believe One Smile Effect is paving the way to those opportunities, but we cannot do it alone. We need you to help us promote our mission. Don't forget, from one smile comes another smile. Support our mission and join us in our journey of spreading the smiles around the globe. Thank you.
So phenomenal. Oh my gosh, Elif. I mean, what you're doing already with your life is just completely next level. I love it. I love the track that you're on. This is awesome. Honestly, this hits home for me. I'm not going to lie. I've worked with so many students who've struggled with the very issues that One Smile Effect addresses. Your mission is so important, and we're all looking forward to watching your impact grow. So keep doing your thing. I love it. We've shared a link to One Smile Effect in the chat, as well as links to other mental health resources from one of our sponsors, Work to Be Well. All right, so check that out. All right, let's introduce our panel of sharks. We're joined today by Tony Watley, podcaster, entrepreneur, and side hustle millionaire. I love it. Jessica Herrera Flanagan, VP of Philanthropy at Twitter. Alan Shin, product and UX designer at Riot Games. Joel Flory, co-founder and CEO of VSCO, and Clemente Chamberlain. I just love you, Clementine. You have no idea. I talk about your Tampon Tuesdays. I tell everybody when I saw that. You are amazing. Former Digital4Good winner and founder of This Club Saves Lives and Tampon Tuesday. All right, Tony, go ahead and take it away.
Isaac, thank you for that awesome intro, man. I love your energy. So Elif, thank you for showing us your one smile effect. We're going to have some questions for you. And I'm going to start with Clementine. What question would you like to ask her?
Okay, well, first of all, that was amazing. I loved your presentation. At the end there, I loved when you were talking about awareness, education, and connection, and wanting to promote it more and have help promoting your project. And so my biggest question would be, how can we promote your work and help the growth?
So far, since we started during quarantine, most of our work is through digital platforms. So to help support our mission and promote our work, you can help us amplify our social media accounts and kind of promote our materials shared there, probably.
Excellent. Alan, what do you have for her?
Hi there, salam. Did I say that right? Does that mean hello in Turkish? But anyways, I learned something new today because I looked that up, and I think it's fantastic that we're hearing from you from the way around the world. Question I had for you is, obviously COVID has affected our lives over the past year. So with respect to how you've been trying to advance and develop your program, what's been the biggest hurdle you've had to face over the last year dealing with COVID?
I would say starting this organization, it's been a great part of my life, but it came with a lot of challenges, both personal and technical difficulties. I mean, technology enabled me to work with and collaborate with teams worldwide, which is amazing, but just reaching out to them and sharing our message has been hard. That's why we would appreciate the support. But the biggest personal challenge I face is probably my social anxiety. As someone who struggled to even order her own food, it was amazing to kind of challenge my fears and use my power to kind of create change both in my community and around the globe. And through this process, I've learned a lot and met new people and kind of impacted thousands of teams, which was very rewarding.
What a wonderful answer. You had to put your purpose ahead of your fear. And I love to hear that. So Joel, I know you got some questions. Joel, hit her up.
Yeah. So first off, I think you're even underselling the impact and the need that you have there, and saying 17% of youth are feeling this. I'd venture to say that's in the 90+% are feeling something from a mental health. I know I felt it personally, especially over the last year, but I think my biggest question for you is, like, if you could go back in time, is there something that you would hope would have been done in a different way, or that you would hope that other platforms like ourselves at Visco would take into consideration with the things that we're building, so that we'd build a better positive impact on the world?
That's actually an interesting question, and thank you for your comments. I think in the last few years, a lot of companies and platforms have started to take mental health and positivity into consideration, which was amazing. I don't really know. I will have to think about it, I guess. But there are still some things that needs to be done. Definitely, we can do better.
Well, my question is that I love that COVID-19 inspired you to take the action to do this amazing one smile effect, but what are your long-term plans? What happens when COVID-19 is no longer in the current time, and what do you envision where this is going to go after that?
As I said, we've just recently launched a program for that focuses on awareness and education and kind of creating some sort of space for teens. My biggest goal with One Smile Effect after COVID-19, and when if we go offline, is to kind of make mental health education classes and mandatory in schools in Turkey especially, but also in developing countries where mental health education does not exist. That's probably one of my biggest goals. Yeah.
Excellent. Jessica, are you available to ask a question? I saw the unmute, but we're not hearing anything, Jessica. You're having some audio difficulties there. Who else has another question? We have a few more minutes before we get into the battle round between us sharks.
I think off of what Clementine said of like how we can help, and even what Tony was saying of kind of the future side, I'm curious if like specific things that you would hope to see come true over the next year, or when you talk about awareness or connections, if there's anything more that you can speak of that would kind of be those big drivers of impact and growth for your cause.
Yeah, sure. So until the end of 2021, my our goal is to establish the Break the Barriers program to 30 more schools and connect with over 1,000 students only through that program. But we're also hoping to launch online campaigns in which we hope to reach over 10,000 students. But of course, the amount doesn't really matter, but I just want to promote our mission further so that we can support teams in a better way.
Who else has a good question? Well, I will ask you when I live. How about, other than the purpose of serving the community of children that need this, what are the personal missions behind, or why is the reason for you to be putting this on?
To be honest, at the start of quarantine, I've seen a lot of my friends and how they struggled with mental health, especially when they were like quarantined at home with no social life. And I mean, COVID-19 was a big change, and I feel like we couldn't really adapt, especially in the first few months. So I've seen people around me kind of struggle with everything, and that's kind of what motivates me to push myself even further and just expand our reach and help those in need, because I've seen it firsthand and how it impacts lives. That's why I'm motivated to, pursue this passion of mine.
Excellent. Jessica, I saw you pop on there. Are you available now?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome to the stage, Jessica. I'm sure you have a great question for her.
I do. Just looking forward, you talked a little bit about COVID in the past, but looking forward towards the next year, what are the challenges you think you're going to face going into next year, or a lot of uncertainties that are coming up?
As I said, I'm hoping to kind of go offline with my project, but so far everything that we've done has been online, and normally people kind of couldn't adapt to turn their projects like virtual. I think I will be struggling turning my project in like offline in real life, but I'm hoping to kind of surmount that challenge through collaboration and through learning from experienced sharks like you, experienced people like you. So yeah, I think that will be one of my biggest challenges in the upcoming years.
Well, excellent. We're going to have definitely some interested sharks in this. So now we're going to get into the battle round between the sharks. We're going to tell you why you should work with us, but you only get to pick one to have a conversation with after this event. So, Alan, why should she work with you?
Well, first of all, I really appreciate your answer about the COVID question that I asked about and how it's affected you. I love the personal connection you have to your mission and how it's affected you deeply. And if I can encounter anybody who's got that kind of tight personal connection with what they want to do, it's somebody I want to work with. I'm just drawn to them. And I think I could be an awesome mentor for you. And I'd love to help get your idea to the next level. So I'd love it if you choose me as your shark and mentor.
Excellent. Clementine, as a former winner of this event, what is your pitch here?
Well, I think that is a selling point that I have been a winner in the same seat that you're in right now. And then what stood out was when you were talking about taking a project that you started online and bringing it in person. Mine was the opposite. It was a in school, in-person thing that I had to figure out how to use tools digitally. So maybe we could work together in that way.
Excellent. Joel, let's hear yours.
I think Visco's mission and vision is very much aligned to what you're working towards. And I think the entire way that we've thought about building things from the beginning with no pressure and anxiety around and just being who you are and being able to share how you see the world rather than how you want the world to see you. I think when you talk about awareness, education, and connection, not just personally, but I also think through Visco, I'd be excited because it's such a core focus of ours around kind of creative well-being and mental health. And so from my end, I would love to collaborate and partner. But I also know you have a big choice to make. So that's just my pitch of why I would love to work with you.
Great stuff. Jessica, how about you?
So it just resonated with me about being an introvert and getting anxious as you're kind of moving forward. That is something that I have faced my entire life and career. And that's something that I feel like I can really help with, is like, how do you navigate that as a woman in tech, a woman who can be an introvert, and how do you express yourself in a way and get your ideas across? So it's something that I have a lot of experience with and would love to help and talk about sort of what's worked and what hasn't worked, because there have been great things and there have been failures too along the way.
Well, Ellie, if you got some good pitches here, it's going to be a hard decision for you. So who would you like to be your shark?
Yeah, this is definitely a tough one. But I think I would choose to go for Joel. But I would love to stay in touch with everyone else.
Right. Joel, well, congrats. You are the shark for Elif, and you're going to help her with a call after this. And with that, let's go back to Isaac.
Awesome, man. That's phenomenal. Just really quick, Alif, I mean, so phenomenal. When I look at you, when I hear you, when I hear your answers, I just see this quiet explosion that's about to take place, not only in Turkey, but around the world with what it is that you're bringing to the table. I love your quiet confidence. I love what you bring to the table. I love that you are bold enough to make something happen. And I can't wait to see what's about to happen with what it is that you're doing. So Alif has chosen Joel. She's chosen Joel. Shout out to Joel at Visco. Shout out to Joel. She's chosen Joel. It's going to be phenomenal. So during the post-show mentoring session, she'll be meeting with him. So well done. We'll all be watching to see what you do next. And next up, we're going to kick it off back to Jessica. I know that she had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to go back to Jessica. I want to make sure that I give her the proper introduction that she deserves right now. So really quick, let me get there. So here we go. Here it is. So as we kick off our event, I love this. Before you hear from our innovators or the next innovator that's coming up, I'm honored to welcome today's opening keynote speaker, Jessica Herrera Flanagan. She is the Vice President of Policy and Philanthropy at Twitter. So welcome, Jessica. Please take it away.
Thanks, Isaac. I just wanted to be introduced twice here. That's the whole reason I had all the technical difficulties. No, thanks everybody for your patience. As Isaac mentioned, my name is Jessica. I'll just start by saying I'm a nerd and a geek into doing good with my nerdiness. Oftentimes when people hear from me about like, what do you do? Vice President of Policy, Public Policy and Philanthropy, that sounds like a big title, but what does that really mean? So when we talk about public policy at Twitter, we're talking about representing a company. That's to our nonprofits, civil society, civil rights groups, governments around the world. We're advocating for what Twitter stands for, giving everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantaneously without a barrier. So this means like everything from responding to regulation that impacts our mission and the technology sector at large. It means working with partners, civil rights groups, ensure that we serve the public conversation, trying to be an open service that's home to a world of diverse people, perspectives, ideas, and information. On the philanthropy parts, it means I get to hit up one of the coolest groups at Twitter we have the awesome task of we're leading what is really in the DNA of Twitter, which is being a force for good, so that the positive power of Twitter serves the communities in which we exist. Just a great example of that is the Twitter for Good Day that we have twice a year, where all of our employees, thousands of employees, come together and work with our partners across the board. The next one's coming up May 21st, and I know some of the people on this call are a part of that. So I really thank you all for partnering with us. It's really an honor to be sponsoring this year's event. From where I'm sitting today and what I've heard so far, it's really the students who are participating. They're not our future, but they're the present. You are influencing, impacting today what tech is and should be. That's authentically and relevant in a way that to the communities in which you live, and you're making change. That's amazing. And I'm really in awe of everything that folks are doing. At the same time, an important part of any influence effort is identifying and recognizing those who enable change to happen. And to do that, I think we also have to thank the educators and mentors that are here today, because they're the ones who are empowering and supporting all of us. I know for me, I wouldn't be who I am without the teachers that I had back in Texas where I grew up who supported me. This especially hit me a few months ago. I received a DM from my 7th grade English teacher, and she was telling me how proud she was of me and that she loved following me on social media and seeing everything that I've done, and it was inspiring. As I read her note, I just kind of think, I immediately thought, well, wait, no, you were the one who inspired me. You mentored me, you taught me, you made me believe in myself. So to those educators out there, thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all you do. I know you are all here because of the hashtag ICANHELP, and I hope people are using social media and putting things out there. It's really about your desire to create safer, more inclusive, and more equitable spaces online and in digital form. This is something that's really dear to my heart. My professional path in tech includes time as a federal cybercrime prosecutor, where I not only got to tackle international cyber norms and handle cases with names like I Love You and Mafia Boy, but I got to develop with the tech industry one of the first digital cyber ethics programs for youth, the Cyber Citizenship Partnership. That was one of my proudest moments in my career, was seeing that take flight and seeing how interested young people were in digital ethics and doing good for the communities that they were in. In my last position at Univision, I had the pleasure of promoting and supporting efforts to increase STEAM opportunities across underrepresented communities. I even got a chance to work on a short telenovela where we highlighted Latinas in Mexico and the US who are developing technology and participating in science contests and shining in various science fields. And it was amazing to kind of put that together. Both of these experiences show us why it's so important, all the things that you're doing and thinking about. And, one of the things that Twitter has taught me is that the status quo has to be challenged, both internally and externally. In our company, we do that by welcoming public input, critical feedback, diverse viewpoints on how we can better the public conversation. Frankly, we're at a point right now where it's clear that tech is at a crossroads. As we stand at this crossroads, we can create barriers to new ideas and improvements. We can fight change, or we can look to leaders like you and embrace and listen to you and feel inspired to kind of help. How do we solve important issues that are out there? For us at Twitter, the issues are numerous. How do we incentivize healthy conversations? How do we curb abuse and harassment faced by marginalized communities online? How do we limit the spread of misinformation? And how do we increase media literacy? If we're going to get there, new ideas are going to be needed if we're going to go past the crossroads. And I can speak for all of Twitter by saying, bring them on. I'm listening and excited to hear ideas. I'll just close there because I know we want to get back to hearing about the great ideas that we're talking about today. So thank you all for letting me spend time with you today. And I'd love to hear from anybody. If you have questions or thoughts about anything, you can feel free. You can find me on Twitter at Jessie Ray, and I'm open for the conversation. So with that, I'll just hand it back.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica, for those wonderful, inspiring words of welcome to begin today's summit. So it's phenomenal. I just love to hear your story. I love to hear you talk about reaching back and looking back and seeing where you've come from. It's all about the journey. I love it. So check this out, everybody. We've shared a link to the digital photo booth and our customer Instagram filters in the chat. So snap some fun photos during your watch party and share them on social media. Don't forget to use the hashtag Digital4Good and tag at ICANHELP official. All right. So up next, we have Vardan Argawal. So check this out, man. Vardan is a high school senior and the founder of the Open Code, an online educational platform that gives disadvantaged students the opportunity to excel in computer science. That's the future, baby. That's where we're going, and you're already there. Welcome, Vardan. Take it away.
Thank you for the amazing introduction, Isaac. So I'm Vardan, and I'm the founder of the Open Code Foundation. The Open Code Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit which aims to provide disadvantaged students the education and the resources needed to pursue a career in computer science. I'm stepping up to make a change because I see a need in the community. According to a recent study, 2/3 of engineering jobs are in CS. However, less than 10% of disadvantaged students actually major in it. Students from low-income backgrounds are often underrepresented in the field, and solving this inequality can be a boon to both the tech industry and the students we help. Technology has been an important part of my life since as far back as I can remember. And learning to harness technology through programming has allowed me to solve problems that I see around me. After learning that people just miles from me hadn't heard of CS, I wanted to build a foundation that would give others the chance to experience my fascination for technology. The Open Code Foundation bridges the digital divide through three key focus areas: laptop distribution, virtual workshops, and grants and scholarships. And in just a year and a half of operation, the Open Code Foundation has had a major impact on those it serves around the world. Ranging from laptops to advertising grants to individual donations, we've raised over $200,000 to support our cause and are actively using those contributions for good. Just this weekend, we shipped laptops over to our team in Kenya, made possible through our partnership with DHL. We've reached students in over 56 different countries around the world, whether through our podcast, hackathon, or other programs. And in those 56 countries, we've helped over 10,000 students tap into their true potential. One of our first events of the pandemic, Open Hacks, drew in over 1,200 students, 555 of which were first-time hackers. However, this isn't the end. It's only the beginning of a foundation that can do so much more. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to learn more about us, visit www.theopencode.org, and don't forget to follow us at The Open Code on all social media platforms for ways to get involved.
Oh man, phenomenal. Thank you so much, Vardan. Now I know where to go the next time I or any of my students need help and get stuck in a coding project. First and foremost, hold up. You said you guys have reached 10,000 students? Oh my goodness, that is just phenomenal, especially at your young age. I love the go-getter inside of you. You've seen the change. Man, you saw a gap and you filled it and you've gone in head on. Phenomenal work. I absolutely love it. So check this out. Anyone who's interested in the Open Code, check out the link we've shared in the chat. All right, check out the link that we've shared in the chat. We got a couple of shout outs here, so let me get to some of these shout outs that are coming through. We got people watching and engaging. So we got this right here from Jasmine from ICH. She says that she'll be helping with social media. Let's go. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. All right, we got another shout out here. Let me see if I can find that. Another shout out here. All right. Oh, no, it hasn't come through yet. So we don't got that one coming through. But I do want to let you guys know this. Check this out. Student Voice is so incredible. Listen to what Student Voice is. Every month, hashtag ICANHELP host a Student Voice webinar for students and adults to get ideas on projects they can bring back to their communities. Check out the event page on icanhelp.net website to register for the May event. It's coming up, so make sure that you're ready for it. Make sure you're ready for it. All right, Sharks. Let's hear from our Sharks. Tony, my man, let's start with you. What do you think of Varden's innovation?
Varden, that is an awesome movement is what I'm going to call it, because it is a movement. You're helping underprivileged families learn to get their access to learn how to do computer science. I mean, I love that because not everybody has the means to be able to afford the computers or the technology that are so readily available in our westernized world. So, man, I love what you're doing. And I want to hear from our other Sharks here. So if you're a Shark, turn on your camera and let's get these questions going for Varden. Varden, also have your camera on.
Yeah, it looks like I'm actually locked for video.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. There we go. He's back with us. So, Jessica, what questions do you have for Varden?
I thought it was really amazing, all the different things and all the different countries and places you were in. I guess the question I'd have is like going forward, what are the challenges or what challenges have you faced in terms of marketing and reaching people in so many different countries? You know, how do you make it authentic and relevant to different cultures, different countries, different languages? I'd love to hear sort of what your thinking is on that.
Yeah, so great question. Thank you so much. One of the challenges is, as you mentioned, adapting to different cultures around the world. So one of the ways we've been able to do that is having volunteers from all over the world. So instead of relying on a more centralized model, we try to take more input from our volunteers around the world. So like if we're running operations in Africa, for instance, we would rely more on them than they rely on us.
Excellent. Excellent. Alan, I know you have some good questions for Varden. Let's hear them.
Sure. That's awesome, Varden. It's really impressive to see what you've done. You mentioned that briefly that you've been having a corporate partnership with DHL to help distribute, the laptops and the equipment. I'm curious to know what other kind of corporate partnerships or agreements would you like to try to develop in the future to kind of help grow your program? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah. So one of the things we try to do is get IT donations. So Twitter has actually been very generous with that. We recently got a donation from them. And we also partner with other companies for ads, for instance. So Google helps us sponsor ads to help us outreach and get the word out about our mission.
Good stuff. Clementine, let's hear what you have to ask.
That was great. I was actually struggling to come up with questions because you covered so much. It was awesome. Since this is Digital for Good and ICANHELP, I wanted to know how you guys are using social media specifically to spread your message.
Yeah, so currently, I think that's actually one of the areas we can improve on significantly. We do have about 8,000 to 10,000 followers across our social media platforms. And we use that to amplify our events, our podcasts, and just provide inspiration for other our students and other youth who want to step up to make a change. But that's definitely a place we're working on improving.
Excellent. Joel, let's hear what you have.
Yeah, I was curious, Barton, on your end, like what is the bottleneck that you're facing? Is it donations? Is it both on a monetary standpoint or from like an actual hardware standpoint? Is it volunteers or kind of organizations to work with to kind of distribute the technology? I'm curious of like where that like supply need is most important for you right now.
Yeah, I would say it's probably on both the monetary end and the hardware end. And I think both of those, if we're able to improve those, would make a significant impact on the number of students we're able to reach.
Excellent.
Quick follow on that. Do you feel like you
Yeah.
mentioned Twitter's donating laptops? Do you feel that you have the introductions you need in order to be reaching these companies, or is that like those connections important to helping? Like, is it the actual like connection and introduction to those companies that is necessary on your end?
I would say that yes, the connection would be very important for us.
Excellent. Hey, Vardan, as a fellow podcaster, I want to hear about the podcast and what kind of guests you have on, or where do you envision that going?
Yeah, so for our podcast, we basically cover, it's called The Open Show, and we cover like bite-sized tech topics, which are often like maybe they're too hard to understand, or like for instance, machine learning. That's something that people may have heard of, but they don't have the time to go in and like actually learn about that. So we're trying to provide information about those in an evergreen, bite-sized format.
Excellent. I
And
would
then
actually
we
suggest.
occasionally,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, so we occasionally do have guests, software engineers, professors, and yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That was what I was going to recommend, is having industry professionals that are serving that niche, because that will help you not only build the network of amazing people, but also getting the exposure out there, because when they're on a show, they're going to share it for you, and that helps you broaden your message. So I love what you have to say. Anybody else have any follow-up questions you'd like to ask for Vardan? Well, then let's go into the Shark Tank battle here, Vardan. You get to select one of us, but we're going to hear each of our pitches to say why we would like to work with you. So, Jessica, why would you like to work with Vardan?
Well, I just think it's very exciting, the work that you are doing, to really expand computer science and get those resources, including resources Twitter has provided, out there. I think what I can help with is, Twitter being a global company, we have locations and offices across the world, and a lot of the places that you're in, we have partnerships with relevant groups, and we can really help you kind of think through how to reach those people. Because it really resonated with me when you said that it's really kind of relying on those individuals in those markets to help kind of push forward what you want to do. And I think I could be helpful, and Twitter could be helpful on that front.
Excellent. Joel, let's hear you.
Ron, I think, I already committed to another winner, but I think from mine, I would love to help out from those connection side, because I think that's, we donate technology, and like as laptops come out of use within Visco, we're donating them. And I would love both on our end, but also introductions to other companies. We're not as global as Twitter. So I think like grabbing some of those corporations that are very large and global and kind of tapping into that would be huge. And I would love to help on those connections.
Excellent. Clementine.
I would say, sort of following the question that I asked about social media, is I could, as a Gen Z perspective, help you figure out how to grow your social medias, and use outreach through social media to get it to a greater audience.
Excellent. Alan, finally.
So I think you're going to hear a common theme is like, I work for Riot Games, and we also have a very large global footprint and a lot of connections with people all around the world, both individually and at corporations. But I think one thing I could add is a sense of trying to connect with some of the community that's you're trying to address and trying to serve through gaming. Like, people everywhere play games around the world. And I wonder if there's some way that we can do some intersection of coding and learning maybe to code to attract more people into your world. So that's what I have to offer for you.
Well, look at this, Vardan. You've got a social media titan, you've got a gaming badass company, and you've got a graphic design company all vying for your attention. And we have Clementine and myself, but you only get to pick one. So who would that be?
Yeah, so this is an incredibly difficult decision, and I'd like to stay in touch with all of you, but I think I would go with Jessica for this.
Excellent. Well, Jessica, congrats on being the mentor shark for this round. And Vardan, excellent presentation. I look forward to hearing what you guys are going to do for the future here.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Isaac.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So Vardan has chosen to meet with Jessica during the post-show mentoring sessions. Vardan, you are phenomenal, my man. I'm telling you, it's just wild to think about what our students in this country and around this world are doing with their time to get ahead of the game. I'm telling you, this just wasn't the norm when I was coming up. You guys are tapping into all the different options, all the different platforms that you guys have to be able to next level, not only your life, but next level the lives of everybody else that's around you. I love the selflessness that I see out of these students. It's just phenomenal. It inspires me to continue to go harder for students just like you guys. So I love it, man. We got a couple of shout outs that have come in. So let me get on these shout outs. This is awesome. I think I saw a familiar name in one of these shout outs. Let me see. I believe I did. Yes, here it is. Finn Jacobson from Instagram. My man, Finn, what's up, Finn? It's been too long, baby, all the way down in Cali. I love it. Finn from Instagram. He is also rocking the 2018 Digital for Good shirt. I love it, man. Check him out. He's one of the interns for ICANHELP. I love it. Finn, shout out to you. I also want to remind everybody, make sure you put this in your phone. Take your phone out, put the reminder in there. However you get your reminders, do what you got to do. Remember to join us on Friday during the Power Hour, man. I know if you got the emoji, you could do one of those flex deals. Maybe that'll help it sink in. Put a flex emoji in the chat. I want you to be at the Power Hour to see all 9 of the student winners share their pitch at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be important for everybody to be there. I'm telling you, these students that have won, these winners, they're taking charge. They're doing what it takes to next level, and they're doing what it takes to change this world for the better. It gets no better than that, baby. So get inspired from what they're doing. Get the motivation, get that mo going, that big mo, get that big mo going and see what they're doing and take that back to your communities. And do it your way, man. Do it the fresh way that only you can do it. You know, that clean way that only you can do it. Nobody else can bring to the table what you got, your unique values. Figure out how to blossom them things and put it out there for the world to see, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there's 3 sharks left, but we have one dilemma. There's only one student that remains. So let's see who matches up with our final day 2 student innovator, Alex Knoll, my man, Alex. Look, Alex is the creator of the Ability app. Oh, I love it. A free app that allows people to find and rate accessible places that meet specific needs for mobility, vision, hearing, and cognitive impairments. Welcome, Alex. We're excited to hear more about the Ability app. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna start the video here. We'll see if it'll turn on. It says unable, but we'll just go through the presentation here. Oh, there we go. There's the camera. Hello, everyone. So I've got my presentation here. I think we can just pull it up right here. Okay, so we will just wait for the presentation. Yeah, is there anybody? Oh,
We can see it, Alex, so you can go ahead and begin.
oh, okay, awesome. I wasn't sure if it was on there yet. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Alex Knoll, and I'm the founder of the Ability app. And I'm excited to share with you this project that I've been working on for the past 7 years, since I was 9 years old. And I hope by the end of the presentation, you'll consider joining my team and helping to solve one of the world's biggest problems, which is accessibility. Did you know that people with disabilities are the world's largest minority population, with over 1.1 billion people having some form of a disability? Family members and caregivers of people with disabilities adds to the astounding number of people on this planet affected by accessibility issues. And when people with disabilities venture out to any given public space or business, they're not usually able to determine whether or not that given public space or business is accessible for them until now. So the Ability app solves many of the problems associated with accessibility by giving its users a roadmap to find any type of public space anywhere in the world that meets their specific needs. So the Ability app is a free crowdsourced web app that I've been working on for over 7 years now by developing and researching, as well as connecting with people with disabilities to tailor the app to meet their unique needs. So there are 4 main disability categories listed on the app. There's hearing, vision, mobility, and cognitive disabilities. And each of those categories have dozens of features that are unique to that disability. So for instance, quiet spaces or sensory rooms for people who have noise sensitivities or aversion to large crowds, printed info or electronic ordering and scheduling for people with hearing impairments, wheelchair ramps and elevators, for example, for people with mobility impairments, and braille menus and service animal relief areas are just a few more examples of the unique features listed on the app. So we're helping individuals, caregivers, and families who can use the app to get around, but we're also helping communities and businesses reach out to a traditionally ignored audience. Businesses risk losing $1 trillion globally by ignoring consumers with disabilities. We're also helping customers communicate with business owners and public space managers by creating awareness around areas where a place may need improvement to make themselves more accessible and inclusive. So opening the door, that's opening the door to over 100 million people in North America alone that have spending power. The Ability app brings all of these groups together to improve overall accessibility. And working together to understand and help one another is what life's all about. And one of my favorite quotes is by Helen Keller, and she said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. And you can help by reviewing a location on Ability app. It's fun, free, and easy. And you can visit theabilityapp.com and sign up for a free account, and you can start reviewing your favorite restaurant or any business. You can go through the checklist on the app and rate whether the business has a wheelchair ramp or braille menu, for example. Does anyone at the business know sign language? Does a location have a quiet space or sensory room for people with noise or crowd sensitivities? You can also add photos, comments, and ratings on there. And even one rating can make a difference. So I hope that you'll sign up. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. If any of our viewers would like to download the app and help contribute to making accessibility a priority in your community, check out the link in the chat. Alex, you are the man. I love it. You've tapped in to a place that's underserved. Let's just keep it 1,000. It's underserved. People don't put that as a top of mind issue to make sure that they are putting the people that need help first, and you figured out a way to help. I love it. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've taken the time to build the app. You're absolutely amazing. Look, we got a couple more shout outs before we get to these tech giants and these entrepreneuring giants in our shark. So real quick, I got a shout out Jordan Nakaguma and Alexa Negret on Instagram for showing off the new D4G, or the Digital for Good Instagram story filter. So shout out to y'all out there. And I got to shout out Maddie Phillips on YouTube. We appreciate you guys for supporting. Look, please make sure to continue to hashtag and tag this event. Make sure that you are involved. Make sure to be a part of the conversation. So again, Alex, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. All right, Sharks, time to hear from you. Who is going to get paired up with today's final innovator? Tony, let's start with you, my man. What did you think about Alex's innovation?
Alex, awesome innovation. I love the app idea, and I got to watch a little bit of the video of the Ellen show, and man, it's incredible. I can't believe anybody didn't think of this before you, but it took a young student to come up with this idea. I love this, man. So we're going to get into the sharks, and we're going to get some questions for you. And you sound like you've been doing this a while, so we're not going to be so easy on you. How's that? You up for that challenge?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Clementine, let's hear it.
Okay, well, that is an awesome app. I loved hearing about it. You said you've been working on it for 7 years. I was wondering when it was made available to download.
Yes, well, we launched the app officially on the web last year, and that was right before COVID hit. So we kind of moved our plans around. We've been doing work behind the scenes. We didn't do a really large scale launch like we were hoping to do, but we want to make sure we do it safely when hopefully this COVID situation is over. We want to do it safely, and we're looking forward to doing a major launch on the App Store in the next few months, however long it'll take. But we're looking forward to that. But last year we launched officially.
Got it. So right now, are you working on advertising, or what's happening with advertising the app?
Yeah, well, we've still been on social media, sharing the app with others. We've got thousands of ratings coming in. We've got around 19,000 ratings on the app right now, and that's growing every day. We've got people from around the world using the app. We're also focusing on making the app better. We're going on the coding side. We're kind of fixing everything up, making it the best it can be, and we're looking for funding for more engineers to continue to help the app grow to more people. So that's what we've been focusing on right now, raising funds and fixing the app even more and improving it.
Excellent. Alan, I'm sure you have something intriguing to ask. Ask away.
First of all, awesome. Again, amazing application that you put out there. So here's a question for you. If you could go back in time to when you were on the Ellen show and give yourself some advice about stuff that you've learned since you been working on the app over these last few years, what is the piece of advice you would have given to yourself all those years ago that maybe would have helped you advance kind of like your goals for what the app is supposed to be, or whatever you wanted to see as being like the outcome of what good looks like for you for the app?
Yeah, well, I would just say stay optimistic. The COVID situation definitely made us change courses, and we were doubting what the future, and we really weren't sure what the future of the app would be like. And I was very uncertain, but I would just say stay optimistic. Focus on the goal, which is helping people with disabilities and their families. That's been the goal since the beginning, and I would want to continue to focus on that throughout the whole process. I was getting kind of concerned about the future of the app with COVID. Things slowed down a bit, but things have started to ramp back up, and I'm optimistic again. But yeah, just stay optimistic throughout the whole process. But we're still moving forward today, and I'm excited for the future of the app.
Excellent. Jessica, how about yourself?
Sure. So my questions, I'm going to pivot to a different type of question. So in my prior life, I did a lot of work with tech companies. I had ratings and looked a lot into communities. And I guess the question I had for you, because this is something I saw all the time with them, is, how do you do quality control? How do you ensure that that information that's online is completely updated? What kind of efforts are you putting into making sure that, like, if businesses make changes because they've seen some of the things you've had, can they respond to that, or can they show that they've been addressed? How are you dealing with those types of issues?
Yeah. Well, we look every day at all of the new ratings coming in. We look through to make sure they're all accurate. But we also have kind of straightforward rating tactics on the app. The way you rate businesses and their accessibility features on Ability app, there are 3 different smiley faces for each disability feature category on the app. So there's a happy face, kind of a middle face on the accessibility of that specific feature, and then a sad face. So it's very straightforward for everybody to use. They just go through that checklist, and business owners can make reviews. They can take photos, and all of those photos are also checked on the app. And we'll obviously need help as the app gets larger, as more reviews come in. But we still check, and we try to make it as straightforward as possible for people, and really make it hard to make any errors. It's just straightforward. So, yeah.
Excellent. Joel, what have you got for him?
Mine's kind of 2 parts. I think, like, where's your inspiration coming from for this personally, that like you're so uniquely qualified to kind of like lead this effort? And kind of with that, tied to that is like, how would you define success? If you were to like look at some 2, 3, 5, 10 years, I don't know if you have thought of it this way, like, how would you know this has been a successful effort and how would you define that?
Yes. Well, the motivation for me since the beginning of this app was to help as many people as possible. When I started the app, the whole idea came about when I saw a person in a wheelchair and they couldn't open a manual door at a store. And at that time, I really wasn't aware of the struggles that people with disabilities faced. And the goal since the beginning has been to help as many people as possible. And seeing all of the emails come in, all of the stories that people share about really how this app could change their lives. And it's changed people's lives already. So many people with disabilities don't even leave their homes because they don't know what places are going to be accessible for them. So seeing how this app can make the biggest impact is my motivation. And I think that's what success is. Whatever you can do to make the biggest positive impact.
I love the question. So Alex, how do you encourage more participation with this app? I understand the importance of it, but is there any thoughts of gamifying things to make it more encouraged participation?
Yeah, yes, there's so much that can be done there. Giving people a special reward on the app for making a certain number of reviews, adding a certain number of photos on the app, keeping people motivated. I think that's what a lot of companies do. I know Yelp, they have their special profiles for people that make a certain amount of reviews. And that's something that we'll definitely explore into the future to keep people adding reviews on the app. But that, yeah, definitely. There's so much that can be done there.
Great. I have a follow-up question for the vision impaired. How does this app help them on a cell phone?
Oh, yes. So most operating systems and phones, they have a screen reader on there. And that can go through any of the menus on any app that is screen reader friendly. The Ability app recently became screen reader friendly, and then we launched it. That was something we were holding back on. We wanted to make sure that it was accessible for everybody, but Ability app can be used with a screen reader. Their phone reads it aloud, everything on the screen, and then they can do the tasks with that. So
I love it. An accessible app. I love to hear that. So now we're going to get into the battle rounds. Now, as you have probably witnessed, Jessica and Joel have already accepted some mentoring after this. We can all communicate after this event, but for the purposes of this, we're going to hear from Alan and Clementine on why you should work with them today. Alan.
So I think Tony talked about one thing I was going to mention is that there's lots of ways Riot has expertise in obviously gamification and understanding what makes experiences compelling and interesting to users. So that could help with adoption and use of your app. But another thing that I want to talk about is that even though Riot is obviously a big and successful company, is that we didn't get to where we were in the straight line path. We have made a lot of mistakes along the way, and we learned to listen to our audience and make course corrections along the way. And I think that experience and that background is something I'd love to be able to share with you, because you've been on this journey for a while too. And I think that experience and our learnings is something that could apply to you as you try to look for what success means to you and the end goal for your app.
Excellent. Clementine, why should Alex choose you?
I think Alan would be a great person to help Alex with this app, to be honest. But I would just say using social media as a tool for advertising it and creating an online community for your app users.
Excellent. Alex, if you were to talk to me today, I would talk to you more about personal branding and growing that. And maybe if you wanted to launch a podcast or anything like that, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and we have Joel here as well doing the same as well. And there's a lot of financial stuff that we can always talk about and how to grow the company. So that's where I bring to the table. So you got a tough question here. Who is it going to be, Alex?
Yes, well, it would be awesome to work with any of you. And I guess I would like to stay in touch with all of you, of course, in the future. But Alan would be awesome. It would be awesome to continue to speak with you.
Alan with the Riot Games. He's going to help gamify this amazing app.
Yep, that'd be awesome.
Well, that's great. Let's go back to Isaac.
Man, oh man, Alex. Hey, hold up, man. You're a superstar, my man. You are an absolute. So you were on Ellen. You were on the Ellen show. I love it, man. Yo, you are prime for the spotlight. And honestly, what I love about this whole entire situation with this app, and I already know you get it, but this epiphany just came to me, man. You are allowing everybody to be Superwoman and Superman. Like, you are giving everybody the opportunity. You're allowing people to step out and be confident. And some of those ideas, some of the vision that people have that may be compressed because of some of the disabilities that they're dealing with, you're giving them an opportunity to water those things so that they can come out and change the world on a next level, man. So this is phenomenal. I love it. I love it. I love it. Keep doing your thing. I can't wait to see this thing blow up. I can't wait to see the commercial. I mean, it's gonna be like that, man. I know it's gonna be like that eventually. It's going that way. It's already there, and the stars are the limit, man. So I love all of it, man. Keep it going. So Alex has been paired up with Alan. I love it, over at Riot Games. So Alan is there. So for the post-show mentoring session, he will work with them. Thank you so much, Alex, Varden, and Alif, for your inspirational presentations. Best of luck to all of you during your final presentation on Friday. We've also included links to their apps and organizations again in the chart for anyone who missed them earlier. Really, really quick, I want to make sure everybody knows and understands, with all of this time that we have had to spend on our devices, it is going to be awesome to hear some tips and tricks about digital wellness during the Big Tech panel on Friday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure that you tune in 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is, again, the Big Tech panel. Look, that's where the world's going. If you want to hear from the big tech beast in this world, you want to be at that panel and see what they're doing and see how you can take your greatness, your idea, what you got, your unique value, and how you can take that and do some digital for good with that thing and next level it and present it to your community. And more importantly, man, to this world, and change it for the better. So look, real quick, I got some shout outs. So I want to shout out Melissa Edsel, Brian Speed, and Isaac Lopez, who are watching from their classroom. These are our educators. Shout out to all of our educators. Shout out to you guys. I know this year has been crazy. I've been working with and talking to educators around this country, and I'm going to tell you what, you guys, if they don't give every educator the Medal of Honor this year, they doing something wrong. You guys have been phenomenal this year. We appreciate you guys figuring out how to be innovative in educating our students and reaching our students. Thank you guys for everything you guys do. You're the real MVP. We love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Also, I want to make sure, I know I'm plugging this, but I'm going to keep plugging it. Make sure to join us on Friday during the Power Hour to see all 9 of these student winners share their pitch at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure that you are there, because I'm telling you, there's going to be some magical moments in these moments. These students have figured out how to tap in to what I know you guys want to tap into. I know you're hungry for it. I know you're trying to figure out, how do I do this? Or I'm a little bit scared to do it. I know that you are ready. What's awesome about this panel of students, we got students that may be a little bit shy, maybe introverted. We got students that have been on Ellen Show. We got them all from all spectrums, but they're making the impact. They figured out how to help. So be there so that you can learn from what they're doing and take it back to your communities. It's 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday. Make sure that you are there. All right, baby. Now I'd like to welcome Clementine. Real quick though, I saw Clementine last year and I was like, this is the most amazing idea that I have ever heard in my life. And the way that you market it, I know you're going to go into it, girl. I know I ain't going to try to take your spotlight, but the way that you did what you did, I love it. So check this out, man. Let's welcome Clementine Chamberlain to share what to expect during Friday's final Power Hour, in addition to being one of today's sharp. Clementine is the founder of This Club Saves Life, a nonprofit dedicated to volunteering to combat hunger, homelessness, and other social problems. Take it away, Clementine.
Thank you, Isaac. That was so sweet. Hi again. My name is Clementine, and I was a winner at the last Digital for Good event. I spoke about the Tampon Tuesday campaign that I started at my high school to break down the stigma around periods while collecting period products for menstruators in need in my community. So my advice for Friday is to be as personable with your projects as you can. After people watch your inspiring presentations, they are going to want to get involved or bring ideas from your project back to their school or company. At the meet and greet, don't be surprised if you get those questions. So be sure to connect and network with the viewers. And then on Friday, I know it might be a little nerve-wracking prepping to give your presentations, but don't forget to listen to all of the incredible speakers that you'll be sharing the digital stage with. And lastly, all of you have amazing projects and ideas that are worth sharing, and you should feel so proud to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Clementine. We are looking forward to hearing more from these students during Friday's Power Hour. Like I said, man, Power Hour, make sure that you're there, because I'm telling you, there's going to be some heavy lifting and some next leveling happening during the Friday Power Hour. For all of our viewers, we'd love you to share your favorite moments from today's student presentations on social media. Share your photos from the photo booth on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and share the moments and ideas that inspired you the most. Come on, we got a lot of those moments and ideas here, so make sure you share them. Don't forget to use the hashtag Digital4Good, and tag at ICANHELP official. All right, make sure you do it. And now, to close day 2, please welcome back the amazing, the phenomenal, the one who has next leveled for all of us with Twitter. I love it, Twitter. Jessica Herrera Flanagan, we love you. Welcome her back.
Thanks, Isaac. All I can say is, wow. I mean, if anyone had doubts about whether people are working to change the world, especially in these unique times, I think we heard the answer to that today, right? As all our winners have demonstrated, there is such incredible creativity, dedication, and leadership, and just people looking for opportunities to do good. I think for all the sharks here today, I just want to say thank you for letting us be the sharks. I know that the team there's a dedicated, great team here, and there's so much time and energy and talent that goes into this work and putting together the show. So to the folks who put it together, I just want to say thank you. I know we're focused on the winners as well, but you deserve a shout out as well. I also hope it's very crystal clear to all the students and to the educators out there. We need your talent and we need your enthusiasm. We need you to make us and the entire tech industry better. And to the industry types that are out there, if any of you happen to be listening, that talent you keep talking that you're looking for, I think we found them and they are here today. So I'll just end the way I started. I want to reiterate that, at Twitter, as we continue our work to make technology and our service more equitable, we want your diverse perspectives. You should feel free. No, you should know that you can call a technology company, whether it's Twitter or any other company, a place where you can go make a difference. And we want you to do that. And meanwhile, if you have ideas, you want to share, you want to give me a holler, you can always find me at Twitter at Jessie Ray. And I hope everyone has a great day. Remember to come back on Friday, and hopefully you wrote down all that information that Isaac mentioned. And thank everyone, and have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it may be in your time zone. Thanks a lot.
So awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica. Congratulations to today's student innovators on their wonderful presentations. I mean, beyond amazing. We love you guys. It's awesome. And thank you to all of our viewers, keynote speakers, and our day 2 sponsor, Twitter. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for everything that you're doing for this world. So we appreciate you guys so much. Look, I want to make sure, again, I'm going to go through it. Remember to join us on Friday during the Power Hour to see all 9 of the student winners. Okay, that's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure that you're there. Also, to make sure that you check out the Big Tech panel on Friday. That's at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure that you're there. Make sure that you are soaking in all that they are here to allow you to soak in. And also too, don't forget about Student Voice, okay? Every month, hashtag ICANHELP host a Student Voice webinar for students and adults to get ideas on a project they can bring back to their community. Check out the event page on ICANHELP.net. Make sure that you check it out. Make sure that you're there. It's on their website, and register for their May event. You're not going to want to miss it. Look, we appreciate everybody that's been here, everybody that's plugged in, everybody that shared this broadcast, everybody that's going to share this broadcast. We appreciate you. I know that ICANHELP is a phenomenal organization that's doing great things and is plugged into so many students and leaders that are helping this world be a better place. So make sure that you take advantage of this amazing opportunity with this group here. All right. We'll see you all tomorrow for day 3, kicking off tomorrow at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. It's been real. Deuces, Isaac Butts. I love all of you guys. We'll see you guys.
All